Hello everyone, welcome to Bargain Gaming, where we can play excellent games without busting our wallets. This is episode 115 of Kingdoms of Amalur, and I think it's about time we talk a little bit more, go into more detail regarding crafting and sage craft. Because in sage crafting, when we do this, we can craft new gems. In other words, we can craft gems that are weapons based. So when we craft a gem that's weapon based, what's helpful is that we can. It takes two gems of whatever quality, and as we put them in, like one pristine and another pristine, it tells us what we can get out of it. So that means two pristine poison shards will give us a weapon, a gem that will do 24 poison damage over 6 seconds. This can be socketed into a weapon socket to increase the weapon's effectivity. The problem with this is that I think I have not crafted any melee weapons uh, because the chakram and the scepters are both considered long-range weapons. So, okay, what we can do is anyway, going back to crafting of gems. So, armor gems, so if pristine again, and then we pristine poison, and we try a different pristine magic, it tells us it has a different kind of gem that will result from this. So this is very helpful in helping us creating the kind of gems we need without having to have a recipe for it. So this one has a 15% chance to steal 20 mana per hit. So going back, if we change it from pristine magic to pristine fire, we have a 15% chance to get 20 health back from. This one is mana, this one is fire, lightning, and fire, lightning are the same. And what's protection? 15 critical hit damage with physical. And then how about physical? 48% damage. So it's better, actually. It's better than two pristine poison. So pristine poison and physical does 48 poison damage, which is double. It so that one, so it needs it makes sense for us to actually check which one would yield the best kind of return. So anything that is elemental together with poison gives us a vampiric ability to weapons. Now, like I said before, we haven't done any staff crafting, so that's why. What if, because staff is a pure melee thing. So let's see if we do an ebony frost rod, master's illuminator, nishkaru slaughtering. This does bleeding. This does plus 80 damage. This is the best. I would say master robust rivets. Any robust thing. Master robust bindings, rivets, grip. They are the best parts. So they will give us this, and then master. We don't have a master robust. I've used it all up. Okay, sorry. This is not too bad too, right? Because it gives us a 12% critical hit damage with magic. So it does not allow us to slot weapon gems in weapons. So I think the weapon gems, I think, well, let's try making a great sword or a long sword. Prismere blade, master frosted, master sharpening, and then robust. Hold on. Master sustaining. Okay, so this gem of rot is what we had, is using a pristine poison and I think pristine health. So it will slot only in melee weapons. Even the staves do not count. Let's say, what if we do it with a finesse weapon, which is a Fey blade, right? Pristine blades, yes. And then flawless sharpening, 25 critical hit damage. That's pretty good. Robust, or we can have master damaging, 24% more damage, and a master sustaining. It gives us health. It also gives, so only melee weapons, so finesse and might weapons can benefit from crafting gems that are for weapons. Now, crafting gems for, initially we have the strengthening ones, right? So that means we can go upgrade the cloudy to lambent. And then from lambent to pristine. Oh, so, and then pristine, no, pristine is the top, is the highest form or highest quality gems. Now, when we are, so we can only socket gems to items that come with sockets already in them, and the sockets determine whether they are weapon sockets. This one has armor sockets and utility sockets. So we cannot create sockets. We can only, when we craft weapons and armor, we can only have one socket. But items that we picked up in the world can have up to 3 sockets, as we can see from here. And then, so we can craft gems. So weapon sockets, so armor sockets primarily go into all the weapons, oh no, armor, sorry, all the armor that we have. And I have done that for a cowl, for hands, for feet, and I believe for armor, I'm not sure. It says pristine protection shard. See, I'm again very confused whether this is specific to armor, or I think we can only use utility gems. Pristine protection, with pristine protection, should give us plus 35 armor, which is amazing, right? Because this is an armor, we're crafting armor gems. So this one I'm not clear yet on. Pristine and poison gives us an 18 poison resistance, and presumably with magic it gives us elemental resistance. Fire gives us fire resistance of 20. Lightning of physical, 15 physical resistance. Lightning 20 lightning resistance, and then ice, 20 ice resistance. So pristine protection, so we have exhausted the combinations of pristine protection. So what we can do is now we can go to pristine poison and pristine magic. It gives us plus 35 armor, plus fire, 24 armor. So magic has the best. Lightning would be the same at 24. Fire may be the same. Ice the same. How about for physical itself? 35 armor. Okay. So they have similarities. Okay, so that's for armor protection. So what I don't know is if it gives us so this is an armor protection, right? Shard, back to magic. Impregnable. Okay, let's make this. Socket into an armor socket to increase that armor's effectiveness. So that means armor socket. So that means any armor, I believe, because some of them just says torso armor. If we craft a utility gem, let's say a pristine and protection and another pristine protection, it gives us 20 health. And it says socket to increase items effectiveness. So utility is to any utility slot, and I think utility slot is universal. It could be in an armor, or it could be a weapon, or it could be a ranged weapon, melee weapon, or it could be a ranged weapon. So utility is very good. It's very what do you call this? Is very friendly. If it's with poison, we get 17 health. So that's how 30 stun duration. That's something I have done. And I have put it into our chakrams. So that one, because the chakrams, when they fly out and return to us, on the way back, when they hit a monster, it's not only stuns them, it also causes them to fall flat. So here in crafting, there are always 4 items. So in our chakrams that I have done, or in our armor, let's work on mage armor. Mage armor, what I have done is I've done shoes. I've used up the spirit weave. Let's see. I've done hand wraps. I've also used up all the spirit weaves. Cowl. I've also used up the spirit weaves. So we will, like in shoes, we have different components. The basic component, which is spirit weave heel, which I used up, and then the next one is lining. So there are all kinds of lining, and master immunity would be poison damage. Flawless is the highest end. This is against bleeding. Rigid is improving the armor itself, because the heal, the basic item, has a certain armor rating, and the rigid improves that. So it could be, so these are all self-explanatory. And the same thing for weapons. When we are crafting, say, not armor, let's crafting like a scepter. So right now we are using a shock scepter, and the charge handles. These tell us what kind of effects they have. So it's a charge. What we have is we use a shock, and this one will add to that, because this is lightning based. Or we could add anything else like this, so that we're more dangerous against kobolds. Or a master piercing. So if they're heavily armored, this piercing damage will bypass the armor. And the 4th item would be a master strengthening for health, or sage, so increase our mana. So, and then we can also put a utility armor to this. Only a utility armor, or a utility gem. Sorry, not a weapons gem. Only a utility gem. So that's why we have a weapons gem in our kit, which we made, but it's not showing up in the last piece. Like this one. Let's say sage bindings, greater master hardened grip. So it does not allow us to socket a gem in this one. So only a utility gem. But if we do have one, I already used up what we have. So I'm just going through this as a quick brief over crafting and what gems can and cannot be used. And to go back to what I have just done. In between episodes, I have broken down as many items as I can, or as I can, before Ennui sets in. So in our primary, this is what I have done. This is a Prismeer based shock disc, and I added physical damage to this instead of just pure shock, because pure shock doesn't do as much. Pure shock would have been 51, and I added 41, and I added 22 physical damage to this because it normally would have 41 lightning and 41 base physical damage for the shock. But I added 22 physical damage based on the handle, and then based on the handle, so that physical damage always hits, right? Except if it's heavily armored, then the armor will offset some of the physical damage being done. So when we're going up against trolls, which are resistant to all the elements, the physical damage becomes very important. So I'm using trolls only as one example, because there are other monsters that might be immune to lightning, fire, or ice, and unlike the troll, which is immune to all three. So the physical damage will always hit, except it will be attenuated by the amount of armor the monster is having. So aside from that, then one of the bindings I used was the robust one. So it gave us plus 60 health and plus 60 mana. And then another, I think a binding or a grip gave us the 6% chance to critical hit with magic, which we want because this is a magical weapon, right? And then the gem was the 30 stun duration. So all the four components went here into this, and it is shown in the amount of or the description on the weapon. So I created this weapon because I felt that our chakrams were getting a little behind. And then on the secondary weapon, I also created the Arch Scepter. Again, this is now a flame-based dowel, ebony, flame-based ebony dowel. So it does, I think, 51 points of damage. Also, then I added a binding or one of those things, or a handle that increases the amount of fire damage. So right now we are doing a ton of fire damage. So this would be pure range magical damage. And also that's why I also put in the 12% critical hit damage with magic. That's one of the bindings. And then one of the items has like a plus 30 mana or something. So that's the utility gem. I put it in there. So it gave like a plus 20 mana or something, or percentage mana. So that's a utility gem that accounted for, I think, 20 to 30 points of mana. That will come out so that's the second item I created. The third item I created were shoes. So this was done way past. So shoes, or no. I created this. I think I created mage fists, and from here, I created both mage fist and shoes. Okay, sorry. I think shoes is what I called sabatons. I can't remember. I think, yeah. So I created this a while back. So this is also based on the very first piece of spirit weave we got was in a form of shoes, and that's why I made this sabatons. And the shoes, cloth shoes, normally gives us a 10 mana regen per second. Now I added bindings and linings that gave us the master robust thing. That's plus 60 to health and mana. So both of them were placed in here. So that's why we have 120 mana and 120 plus to health. And then there was another item for the elemental resistance, and then a gem that I put in for the armor. So, and when I made the mage wraps, not the mage wrap, the archmage wrap, mage fists, I did the same thing. I put in as much. Again, we have the 10% mana regen for cloth, armor, fist. But I put in two robust items, either both a binding and a lining, whatever. And then I improved our poison resistance for the gem, and another item that gave us more mana. So four items went into that, and the reason and why I did that is that it almost doubled our health. And look at our mana right now. Total mana is 1500. It used to be about where our health number is, just under 800 points, and our health was just about 500 plus. With all those 120 for both the sabatons for the feet, for the hands, and the chakram and the scepter. Like, look at this. We have plus 60 health, plus 60 mana, and then secondary, well, not so much. So in the chakrams, the shoes, and the fist, our character has a very, very robust statistics in terms of health, in terms of hit points. Mana, see, we're spending a third of it because of our shell, of our cover, of our protection. So if we, yeah, that's, we can change some of this so that we don't need the protection by going to either metal armor, so that we don't have that great a physical or a mana regeneration ability. We can offset that by just taking consumables like our greater potions, greater healing, master healing, so master mana potion. So we need to make. So this reminds me, we need to make more mana potions for greater healing, greater mana, and no, what that, and regular healing potions. Pretty dummy. We just drank a potion. Okay, let's make greater health potion. Wait, how many? I think we need 5, right? 5, 10, and 8. Okay. Create greater. Wow, we're running out of Ember Eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then minor healing potions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I think greater mana potion. Wow, can we make? Wow, we can make 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? Let's just make 5. We need more. Because mana, we are automatically generating a lot of mana right now. So once we change into a metal, for protection rather than cloth or fabric, we will have, I think, regenerating mana might actually be as important. Do we even create mana regeneration? Okay, I gotta look that up and in the future. So right now we don't need it.
Can I help you?
But in the future we'll do that. So now that we have our, I think our, aside from the benefits of improved health, hit points, and mana pool, our armor is also a lot higher now, at least double what it used to be, because of the buffs that I put into the hands and the shoes. I don't think I have worked on a cowl yet. So the problem is that we have to break down a lot of the, like, from our inventory, we can see that on the armor side, like, so this one gives 20% bleeding resistance and 20% poison resistance. So there are two items, two master items in that one, or one crafting item and one gem that provides us. The problem with gems, they do not survive salvaging. So we still don't know how to add this +1s to sorcery. That's why I have not yet made a headpiece. So boundless armor improves resistance by damage resistance by 20, and there is a certain crafting material that does that. So I have been breaking items for that particular, like this one. When I salvage this, I will constantly salvage this until I get that master piece, that whatever that is that provides the 20% damage resistance. So Spirit Weave Robe, this one I should just sell this. Oh, it's a Spirit Weave, so I'm holding on to it. Like this one, I don't know that. So this one has the Master Sage something, or that gives the +60 mana. So that is something, when I break this down, salvage this, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know that 2 mana regen per sec. I think that is a jewel. That's a gem that can do that. I believe so, yeah. And here, I think this is still a, I'm not sure if this is a Spirit Weave, but I did put a lot of good stuff in it, like 10% bleeding resistance, 10% poison resistance, 1 health. The 1 health regen is, I think, a master level. Flawless gives us 1.5 health. Wow, yeah. So our robes here has, that's 173 armor. If we look at our, this one is one of the earliest things we got, right? The Selkie Veil we got as I think we got that as a level 3 or 4. It has only 14 armor, and this one has 34. So this is very, I think it's very behind already. This is 173. Our hands is 42, and our feet. So this was what we used to be, what we used to have. So by making the Mage Fist at 42, that's double the armor rating. At the same time, the health, we gain 120 health and 120 mana. So that's a lot of improvement. And the feet is now 71. It used to be, I don't know if we still have the old one. Yeah, this is used to be 20. Right? It used to be 20 armor, and now plus it 20 armor and the plus 10 health, plus 12% mana. These are just minor compared to what it's doing right now. 120 health, 120 mana. That's just amazing, right? Plus 16% health in addition to plus 29 armor. So it's 71. So overall, our armor rating is pretty strong right now. And I guess there goes our timer. So it so our armor rating right now is 378 around the upper right hand corner. And so we have a pretty robust build at this point in time for a mage, and it's because of all the master crafting items that went into the armor. The only thing we have not changed is the headpiece, and that was the one that gives us the +1 to all sorceries. So that's why I am reluctant to do that. Anyway, okay, there goes our timer. So I guess this would be a good place to cut the episode right here. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you'll join me in the next episode. Bye.